school resumption where the pupils are ready to resume school, but the school is occupied by
displaced people.
Yeah, displaced people as a result of flood. So I think the report is almost ready and it will be out very soon. Okay. So our reporters have been there, I think 2 or 3 times. Yes, that's what we are doing.
Well, I think it is high time we start door-to-door sensitization campaigns on hygiene. Because we are doing a distance sensitization campaign.
Yes.
People need to know what the essence of hygiene is. Because it is...
But who will do that?
Is
it the government? Or
no,
is
it is not everything that we are going to leave for the government to do.
Community engagement.
Yes, community engagement. I think people in a community, for example, in my own community, I will see a problem and try to talk to the community leaders about the solution, and we'll organize a sensitization campaign within our own community to discuss, and you see, to sensitize our people.
Yes.
And you see that will have a way of making my environment a little bit hygienic.
Yes, I think this issue of community engagement and sensitization, it is really high time we engage in such kind of engagement in our own communities. But the truth is, there is a way of handling all these kind of issues. It is a big task. Like now, it is about sensitizing people about hygiene. This is part of our community. It is part of us. For example, if we will follow, say, for those who practice Islam, it is in the teaching of Islam that a person will bath at least 5 times a day. That is to perform ablution. Yes, he will wash his hand and his feet and other parts of it every time.
Hygiene is part of Islam.
Yes. So if we will strictly even follow our own religion, this issue of this issue of hygiene will really reduce. And we are talking of cholera. This issue of washing hands, it is very important. It is very, very important. And it is key. I think one of the major influencers in our societies, these imams.
They should embark on it.
Yes, and religious leaders. So it is the tax. Instead of, I think it is the most efficient way of doing that. Even when you say the door to door, it is the most efficient because every day, 5 times, people converge. People gather in the mosques to pray. And after the prayers, the imam will just use maybe 1-2 minutes, and there is a lot of traditions that is brought from the Holy Prophet, that he used to wash his hand before doing this and doing that. And it is so when you put religion into it, people will tend to accept it even better. That this thing is deadly, and this is what the Prophet has said, and it is even part of your own religion. And even if you do it, you will be rewarded for that. So people with all this mindset, some people, when you say that they will get reward this is religion, and when you are doing this, it will be easier for them to even
people are emotionally
attached to religion. So I think it is on us journalists to maybe call on religious bodies and for them to start this kind of sensitization. And it is high time, if this kind of sensitization is embarked on, I think it will be effective, and it will go a long way. It will really go a long way.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. Now let me go to the last item. How do you see the possibility of prices, or how do you see the prices of foodstuff after this rainy season? Ideally, we will anticipate for rainy season, and after it, the prices of foodstuff will go down. But this time around, there is an excessive flooding. How do you analyze the situation?
Okay, for the past few weeks, I am opportune to travel around some of the states in the Northeast, and also to move around communities, local governments, just to see things for myself, especially with regards to this flooding. I have seen, for instance, in Yobe State, where bridges have collapsed, communities completely wiped by flooding, like places like Bunyadi, you find the case of flood going along with a whole set of community and a lot of things. So while I was moving around, I saw a lot of farms that are being saturated with water, completely flooded. So, and with the background of agriculture in me, I know there will be no produce in such farms.
Such farms.
Yes, because at least I don't want to go into the science, but when the water level is above,
no, don't go to science.
So please, so that will really affect the prices of commodity, because if there is no output from the farm, there will be nothing. The availability of commodities in the market will be scarce, and if there is scarcity, yes, the prices will go high.
It is the law of demand.
Yes,
supply.
Demand and supply.
So okay,
you know, when we are talking about inflation in Nigeria, we have for the past 2 or 3 years we have been facing this
constant, rapid,
and general inflation. But the most worrisome, I think, is this food inflation. You know, last month there was a report released by NBC who said that Nigeria's inflation rate has increased up to about 20%, and food inflation is also about 23% or so. But you know, for me personally, I have problem with statistics because I don't believe it always captured the exact situation. There are a lot of people who are farming in local communities deep in the localities who this data may not have reached. Yes, but it is still something we must be concerned with, because 20% is not easy. But this is a year-in-year analysis, but based on a month-in-month ratio, they said it is just 1% increase. But when we look at this thing, it tells you that there is problem somewhere. Okay, let's look at the problems. One of the problems, as suggested by a report I saw also, I think published by Punch, there was an expert opinion on the report who said that CBN, the Central Bank of Nigeria, are also contributing in inflation in the country. The reason is, he said, is because of the politicking going on in the country. So many resources or money have been pumped into the economy when we have very little production or commodities in the market. And you know, there is this, like you know, said, this nature of demand and supply. When there are more money to buy fewer goods, automatically there will be recession. So they said one of the reasons is that, and then
there will be inflation.
Yes, there will be inflation. And then the other one, which we all know, this issue of insecurity. So many farmlands and places were not accessible for farming. So many roads are not accessible for transportation of goods and services. This has affected micro and small businesses in the country. Obviously, there will be inflation because of these issues. And then now we are talking about flood. Like Yunus have just mentioned, many farms have been washed away, saturated with water. And then what do we expect? God forbid, we are optimistic, but we don't know how long this inflation is going to take place. And if that reasons that CBN and other government agencies are also contributing to
the inflation,
it will be foolish, I think, to say that CBN does not know these things. Obviously, they know.
They know all the
why are they not taking the right measures, or why are they doing that? Is it issue of lack of nationalism, or they don't care about the common man? So this, I think, also relate to our entire system of government. We are talking about democracy, and we have been told even since from primary school that democracy is all about the people.
Of the people, by the people,
this
for the people.
definition has been, I think everyone knows this definition.
Okay, in addition
so it means it's all about people. So any policy that will not benefit or will not make a positive impact on the people, why go there? I think these are the major issues that should be addressed. maybe it will minimize
Inflation.
inflation in the
You
country.
have something.
Okay, yes. In addition to the issue of food prices and the insecurity that you said, yes, I have received some reports regarding the insecurity and how the insurgents really attack farmers.
Yes.
Recently, just last week, what Boko Haram around the axis of Mandara Mountains
Yes.
and Goza and Bama and Kondaga, they have embarked on a very deadly act of destroying farms. The little farmlands that people were
It is no more people, it is about farms now.
Yes, it is not no more about people. When you go to your farm, they will kill you. They do that, but
See, when someone goes to his farm, they will kill him.
yes.
Say that. Don't say when you go to your farm.
Okay, so on a lighter note, anyway, so even though the frequency of that is not as much, because few months ago what they do is when people go to their farm, they hold them hostage and they kidnap them, demand for money. If the money is sent, then they release the farmers. So this has really discouraged the level of farming activities around this axis,
And even
this whole
in
axis.
the
So
northwest,
secondly,
there is taxation by
yes,
these bandits.
so this has really discouraged farming. So with this new trend of even destroying farms, this is very worrisome.
It is very worrisome.
This is very worrisome. They will go to farm and see that maybe it has averagely come up and it is
going to yield.
Is going to yield well. Then they will start destroying the farm. It is really worrisome. People have called me about this thing that yes, this is the new trend. This is the thing that is happening, and something has to really be done about that. Because if these people succeed in destroying
all the farms,
almost all the farms, then we are in a big mess. Because the government have now, say for instance, closed most of the IDP camps have
returned them to
these
their
people.
communities.
And the little farms that they have and which they were able to access, even with that fear, now it is being destroyed. So for the upcoming year, they will have nothing to store in their farm.
And another trend in poverty.
Yes, another trend of poverty, another crisis, which will give the insurgent opportunity to entice the young people that yes, you can come and join this and this, and the cycle continues. But God forbid, we pray that that the security sustain the ongoing operations that they are doing, and we hope that there will soon be end to this insurgency.
And looking at this inflation, especially the food inflation in the country, when you look at this, some of these statistics, it tells you that the high rate of food prices in the country is largely in the southern part of the country. At least they are higher than in the northern part of the country. Like for instance, I think Ebonyi, Edo, and River State has the highest number of
food inflation,
high price of food
prices
in the country. And if you see some of the data, you realize that some of the things we buy here in the northeast, for instance, have the prices are multiple or sometimes even 3 times more expensive in those southern eastern states. And what does that tell you? It tells you, we know the northern Nigeria cultivate more farm input, at least grains and livestock, than the southern part of the country. And one of the things that cause these high prices in those areas are largely transportation, because the food has to be transported from the one part of the country to another. And then we are recently facing fuel crisis. Yes, this high
pump price.
Yes, pump price and so forth has also affected these things. When you travel to as far as from Borno to carry foodstuff to River State, obviously with the increase in fuel price, it will automatically result into higher prices of foodstuffs too. So I think number one, security, this fuel high price of fuel are 2 key issues that if addressed, it will
road network
reduce inflation in the country.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. Today is a wonderful discussion. I hope people listening to this will have something to consume from it. Thank you very much once again to my listeners. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.